What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Bryce Crispy94 here, joined with the one and only Cryoquake.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Monster Corner, where we just keep doing the shit because it's fun.
It's fun. It is great. It's a good time. And we
I like learning about new shit.
Exactly, yeah. We get to learn about crazy new creatures that we didn't know of, like the Liondrake, which is today's featured monster, thanks to Cryo.
Thank you, thank you. I'll take all the applause. I'll be here all week.
And I believe we can talk about what this is from because this should be up after the fact.
I mean, it's already up.
I was gonna say, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Like at the time we're recording,
Yeah.
this is already
Yeah.
up. So we
definitely.
could totally talk about it.
Yeah. So the Liondrake is from Tales of Eros, which is a one-shot adventure set in the world of Eros, which is our Double Advantage campaign, where I play Volstagg and Cryo's the DM. So go check that out. It's a great one-shot.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I did too.
It was a really interesting idea. Well, spoilers for some people. Introduced by Bryce himself, and also spoilers because he wanted to play Volstagg's mentor / adoptive father Hogan, which I was all for it. The second he DM'd me about it, I was like, "Yup, we have to do it now."
Yeah, it was a great time. We got to bring on some new faces and some old faces, so that was cool.
That we did, and it was overall just a fun time.
It was.
If you guys really want to watch stuff on the Double Advantage channel, but don't feel like you have time to catch up on the last, 37 episodes, because I get it. There's a lot. Definitely check out the one shot.
Yeah. Because
like you were saying. Go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just gonna say it's set in the past. Like, you don't need to know anything about Double Advantage going into this. It's just there for fun.
Exactly. Anything. It's not even like thing where you have to remember anything because it's just a one-off adventure. Like, you don't have to keep up with it. Like, there's open opportunities to do a second one of that story. I have many more ideas for just stories from the past that don't really correlate but also tie in. That way people can still enjoy without feeling as if they're obligated to watch a full-length series, because I get it. I do. But yeah, the Liondrake.
Yes, the Liondrake. Okay, so as normal, here is its first edition design.
Well, we should go over something really quickly because I know we were talking about it. So I'll have you talk about the name change that had occurred.
That is true. So this is not a Liondrake. This is a Dragon or Dragoon. I haven't actually learned how to pronounce it because I couldn't find anything. But I think Dragon.
I would say Dragoon because it's the double O.
Yeah. And so it was a Dragoon all the way up until 4th edition, where it became a Liondrake. And then when it was reintroduced in 5th edition, it was almost a Dragoon again, but they changed it to Liondrake because there is a Dragoonel, which is a completely different creature, but the name is just so similar. And honestly, I think Liondrake fits a lot better than Dragoon.
Yeah, Dragoon just sounds a little odd. When I think of Dragoon, I think of a Pokemon.
Yeah, so I feel like there was a game or something called Dragoon something, and I always was weirded out by the fact that they called it a Dragoon.
I'm about to look it up right now. Game. Let's see. Go ahead and introduce them though to 1st edition.
Yes.
While I.
So this is the 1st edition Dragoon or Liondrake, and it's a dragon with a lion head. I mean, that's what this creature is. It is part lion, part dragon. As the editions go on, you'll see it resemble more of a brass dragon than, a generic dragon body, which this really kind of resembles, in my opinion. The head on this one, though, to me, reminds me of the Chinese lion. I can't think of what that creature is called, but I definitely get very Chinese lion vibes from.
The body also kind of gives me Chinese body, kind of the skinny, long. You know how they have the really long bodies with kind of the shorter legs.
Yeah.
I do understand. It definitely gives me Japanese mural drawings, like Legends of Old, which I think is kind of 1st edition at this point. All of it looks like Legends of Old type of stuff.
That's true.
But
I mean, that was the point of first edition.
Exactly. Cutting you off real quick. The game you're thinking of, or at least I think the game you're thinking of, because it's the only one that pops up, The Legend of Dragoon.
Yes.
Which was a role-playing video game developed by Japan Studio and published by Sony.
Yep, that's it.
And it was on the PlayStation in 1999 in Japan and 2000 in North America and 2001 in Europe. And it was a high fantasy fictional world called Endiness. And so, yeah. The Legend of Dragoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Legend of Dragoon, but I did know that was a game.
Yeah, I wasn't even alive when it came out in America, so let's just think about that.
Wow. I was very young.
I'm a youngin', folks.
All right. So yeah, that's our first edition. Let's look at second edition here.
Ooh. I haven't had a chance to run through these like I normally do, so this is the first time I'm seeing this guy.
So second edition is literally just a lion with wings.
Yeah, that's about right. And it's not even a lion. It kind of just looks
yeah.
like a monster, like just a monster face.
It's like they took the first edition face, colorized it, and gave it giant eyebrows.
Yeah, but at least the first edition looks kind of cool.
Right?
What's up with the eyebrows?
I think the first edition looks so much better than this because it's in black and white.
Yeah, this just looks like maybe if it wasn't translated to color, it might have been okay.
Right? But yeah, those eyebrows they remind me of like a very angry owl.
Yeah, I could see that, especially because the fur, it's relatively round for the fur. Like, it's not as, it's well kept, which you wouldn't really think would be the case.
One thing I really don't like about this design is it's all fur. There's no scales.
It's literally just a lion. Like, if you cut the wings off, it's just a really ugly lion.
Like, there's nothing that screams, oh, this thing's part dragon.
Yeah, if somebody were to come up to me and be like, what's the name of this? I'd be like, it's probably just a winged lion.
Right.
Like, the first one, I'd be like, oh, that's a fucking lion dragon, for sure.
Right.
But this is just a lion that, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the second edition. I do like this design, though, third edition.
Ooh.
It's... my only problem with it, it doesn't look like a lion, it just looks like a cat.
It honestly kind of looks like a monkey.
It does! What are those called? Like a... Is it a tamarin?
A tamarin or... No, I think I hold on. No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just doing Google shit. Monkey types. That's not what I meant to type monkey species, but...
I gotta Google this,
that's
too.
just what... I think the one you're looking for...
I thought it was a golden lion tamarin, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's a tamarin.
Okay.
For sure it's a tamarin. Because the tamarins have like the little curly bits.
Yeah,
which is exactly what that's doing.
Yes.
I mean, the one that I have here is Emperor Tamarin, but that's not what you're referencing.
My thought was the golden lion tamarin, and it does look like that, but they don't have the curly bits like I thought they did.
Well, it is called a gold lion.
Like
so I wonder if that's the...
That's true.
I wonder if that's the inspiration. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't look like a lion.
No.
It's cool though.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about with the Emperor Tamarin. The little cheek fur.
Yeah, they kind of curl. It curls downwards.
Sorry,
it's cool.
Folks, we don't have pictures of those. Google them yourself.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's definitely more of a dragon body this time, and the tail is really cool.
Yes. It's very honestly, it even is walking like a monkey.
It's giving me monkey.
Overall, now that you say that, I'm getting really big monkey vibes from this.
But maybe it's just the angle we're looking at.
It could be. I mean,
I feel like they just drew it a little badly there.
Right. It's like, I think it's the fact that it's like looks kind of like it's slinking around. Like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Its tail could also be a lot longer.
I don't disagree with that. I don't.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it is only a large creature, so it can't be
That's
that
true.
big.
Well, it's 12 foot long.
Well, how long's a lion?
Probably about 6.
So then another 6 feet. Okay, yeah, it could be a little longer.
See, I would assume its body is almost the size of a lion with like a dragon tail. You know, maybe like a bit bigger than an average sized lion, and then the rest is tail.
No, yeah, that's pretty much what I had in mind.
Yeah.
So.
All right. 4th edition, which I
now
think
we're
is my
talking.
favorite. Yeah.
Now we're talking, baby.
Yeah. 4th edition is definitely my favorite.
Okay. It's not 100% lion,
It's not,
but
it
it's
has
cooler.
a mane. Yeah, I mean,
It's got the fur. It's got the scales. I like the golden color that it has.
which they're supposed to be like a mix between a lion and a brass dragon, at least in 5th edition. I probably should have read to see if that carried on, but I'm wondering if the different editions have them portrayed in different dragons.
I mean, to be fair, it definitely is more of brass than it is gold, because gold would have a little more brown. This is a little more yellow.
That's true.
So like, I definitely can see it. I like how the ears are kind of pointed backwards. Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Okay, I'm double checking, but yeah, it just always says something about brass, so like, I would assume there's just supposed to be a cross between a lion and a brass dragon across all editions.
See, that tail is much nicer.
Yes.
Much longer.
It's still not as long as I'd expect, but it is much longer.
No, yeah. This is definitely my favorite so far, especially knowing what
Right.
5th edition looks like.
Right. And which may be controversial. I actually don't like the look of 5th edition.
It's like 50-50 for me.
I think it's the neck.
Yeah, I could
But I
could see
get
that,
it because it's more of a dragon body.
Yeah, I like the body. Like, okay, if we don't look at the neck, right? The body, super nice. The big beefy front legs, that big like clavicle torso area is really nice. The tail is nice and long. The wings are super cool. The face, like if you just isolate the face, it's good. Like it's the most lion-esque one I've seen.
Right. And now,
But the neck.
I didn't like it. Like at first. Now I like it because I didn't know it until literally like 20 minutes before we recorded this. This is actually the female. The male is right here.
The
and
male
it
is
actually
tight.
has a mane that covers the neck. And it just... I think the mane makes the design complete.
Yeah, the mane, for some reason, makes the neck not seem that bad in theory.
Right. Also,
And looking at it from that side angle, the tail is...
yes, the tail is perfect. Also, it maybe it's just how it's drawn, but the ears on the male look a lot shorter than the female.
I wonder if that's like a real thing, like true to life. Like,
Yeah.
the females ones just have longer ears.
And I think the female would look better with shorter ears. I think those shorter ears, or the longer ears, give me like, I don't know, like bobcat vibes, and it's just not as fierce as I expect from a lion.
I think they're trying to go for like dragon horns.
I think
and
they
that
are
was like
too.
the closest thing that they could really do. Which I mean, it's not terrible. It's just it could have been a lot better.
Right. But these guys definitely have the actual brass dragon wings that extend all the way down to the tail.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I do too.
Actually,
brass dragon is one of my favorite design dragons in D&D because of its wings.
I think that obviously the male one is better, but like looking at the male one, like the way that they have it walking, the way that the tail is, like the posture of like a really proud and like you know boisterous lion is like pretty much exactly what you would want with something called a Liondrake.
I agree.
So
that's it for the design. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the origin and history. So, as far as origin goes, not a lot. It's like one of those creatures that maybe is from wizards, you know, just like taking a lion and taking a dragon and
saying fuck it.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. They live in hilly areas, desert areas, sometimes in jungles. I was reading that. Like I said earlier, they're about 5 feet tall, but about 12 feet body. But they weigh up to 700 pounds, which I think is just crazy.
Absolutely insane.
Like, that's huge. And like, look at that thing. That is all muscle. Like, the front of it is just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beefcake.
Like, in theory, like, that one claw is probably like a bowling ball.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Hurling at you.
Its paws are probably 50 pounds apiece.
Oh, God.
Could you imagine just getting smacked with that?
No, because I'd be dead.
Unlike most drakes and dragons and stuff, they do not actually have a breath weapon. but they do have what bone curling roar, something like that. They have
Blood chilling roar.
Blood chilling roar. There it is. They have a blood chilling roar, which is apparently their like what they're known for. They have wings and they have flight, but they can't stay flying for long. It's like 30 to an hour of flight time, which is relatively short for most dragon creatures.
To be fair, though, the wings look kind of thin.
They do.
Like, they look very, like, fibrous, and, like you could, like, it could just, like, rip if a gust is a little, like a kite.
Right. So, yeah.
Which I could understand why it wouldn't be able to fly very long.
They are also, they can be used as companions. I saw that moon elves use them as companions a lot, which I thought was coal.
Huh,
Like, I just think that's kind of a cool pairing. I also did see at one time in D&D history, there was apparently a paramilitia of dwarves that rode them.
That's fucking awesome.
I was like, that's maybe the coolest fact I learned about these
the
things.
Liondrake militia, bro?
Right?
Come on.
So that's a little bit on its origin. There have been a few notable Liondrakes throughout time, but none of them were ever named. They were just like ones that appeared in prominent storylines throughout D&D's history. So, and then I believe it is, oh crap, I cannot remember which mark it is, but one of the like mark of blah 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 from a baron, their crest is a Liondrake. So I thought that was cool.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
I've never really understood the marks from Eberron. I never read a lot about them.
When I got the book and I was reading it, it's like I think it's like bloodline based type of thing.
Okay.
So
like sorcerer without having to commit to sorcerer?
Kind of something like that. Yeah, it's just it felt more of like a way to give like, because in Eberron, you know, technically a lot of races don't actually exist in that world. Like only the races in the book exist in there. Plus, you know, the basic. Like I don't think Minotaurs are in there, or a lot of the newer races.
Okay, I get that.
So it was kind of a way to play different races with different feats.
Okay,
but not actual
that makes
feats.
sense.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that's that. So there's a little a Baron knowledge dropped on you guys during the Liondrake vid.
We're giving you all kinds of shit today.
Right. Okay, so let's look at this thing's stat block.
Oh boy, where to begin? Where to begin? Fun fact. Let's just get this out of the way. It's not considered a dragon. It is considered a monstrosity.
It is.
Which I guess makes sense because
I was gonna say that kind of ties into its origin. If it was created by a wizard between a dragon and a lion.
And if you just look at it, right? If you get rid of the wings, I'm just like, wow, that's a really fucked up dragon or really fucked up lion.
Yeah,
like,
it's a long neck cat.
So like, I do get that. It is odd that they decided, well, we'll get to it, but that it does speak Draconic, or at least understands and knows Draconic.
Yeah.
I guess that's just a way to, at least like to tie into the fact that it's a dragon. Because like, yeah, if you don't really say it specifically, then like, there's nothing really detailing that it is one. So it's like, but technically drakes aren't dragons. So like,
that's also true.
So, you know, but we got the natural armor 16, which seems a little too high for me. I mean, it's not like the Catoblepus or like things like that where like it has like hard to break skin. Like
that's
just
fair,
a lion,
I guess. But I think about the brass dragon, it being crossed with that. So I would assume its scales are like made of brass. But
the problem with me, and I guess I'm assuming here, I don't see scales. I see visible fur texture. I don't see scale texture though.
That is one thing the 5th edition design does not have compared to like the 4th. It doesn't have a lot of scales on it.
You can maybe argue that the part of the neck and the underbelly and the tail are scaly textured, but that's the only part.
Right.
So like if you stab into that leg, it just looks like pure muscle. Like,
yeah,
I feel like that would be pretty easy to chunk into real quick.
Ooh, you just reminded me. Their hides are very valuable.
Oh.
Like upwards of 2,000 gold.
Damn.
Yeah. I didn't
Y'all
read
should have
that.
sold that.
I know.
Oh,
I took a
man.
10. Spoiler alert.
That's true. Yeah, you did. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna really complain about it. 16 armor, pretty good. Especially considering if like you're in like danger, just fly up. And now all your melee people can't hit it.
That's true. Yeah.
So you kind of chunk off a lot of damage there. With a 60-foot fly, pretty gnarly. And then the 40-foot speed, obviously, and then obviously I'll go back up. 119 hit points. Seems pretty fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say
would
that doesn't
say.
seem bad at all.
Spoilers. I beefed up the Liondrake that they fought in the one shot because due to challenge rating and stuff like that. You guys took it down pretty easily, like in the grand scheme of things. When I put it into the encounter builder, 4 level 6 characters against the Liondrake said it was gonna be like easy to medium difficulty.
Oh wow.
And I was like, well, I don't. And then if I put 2, it was like, no, they'll die instantly.
I half expected you to send 2. Like I thought we'd be fighting that one, and then one would come in from behind us.
No, because it was just too high. So I was like, well, how do I fix this? I was like, well, the hit points that they give you, 119, is just the average.
Right.
So I rolled a couple times, and eventually got like 150 something.
I was gonna
And
say,
was like,
I mean,
that seems fair. Because I mean, I rolled it.
right.
I could have maxed it, which I think is
14
100
D10s is 140 by itself, which is more.
So, we're looking at 182 if I maxed it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I won't max it out, but I'll just give it enough, an extra 40 just to make it a little bit harder to hit.
Such a kind DM.
Well, it didn't matter considering it got fucking boxed. Spoiler alert.
Me and my
got
encounters,
boxed.
I'm like, oh, this is only deadly? I need to make it harder.
Because you're you. And you got me and Stan and fucking all this other shit. Like, well, for me in the main campaign in Double Advantage, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I do have to make things a little more difficult because you guys have hella healing.
That's true.
Well, now you do. Back when it was just the 2 of you guys, it was a little bit easier to balance encounters, but now that there's upwards of 2 healers that can do that, and then a bunch of damage dealers, the cleric can cast fireball, I gotta make things deadly every now and then just to spice it up. But like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself. 19 strength seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, I mean, it is part dragon technically, so
they could have made it 20 and I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's no skin off anybody's back really with that one. 15 dex, I think it also makes sense. Dragons are notably big but fast.
Right.
That's kind of like the whole thing.
Plus,
That's why they're scary.
They're great hunters. Like
fucking lions. You cannot outrun a lion, people. I'm gonna flat out with you. You can't. No matter how hard you try, you will never outrun that. Cats are fast. All cats are fast. So like dragons are already canonically fast. Cats are fast. It could be a little faster. Maybe. I'll put up to like 16.
Right.
The con, I mean, yeah. Big creature, big con. It makes sense.
I mean, the con score plays into dragon for me because they have high cons.
The intelligence, it's low. It fucked me over many times. So it makes sense.
Was it fear?
It was fucking fear and then phantasmal force or some shit.
Oh yeah, yep.
Fuck you, McGinn Humphreys.
McGinn
you
Humphreys, everybody's least favorite character.
Oh
but
God.
We love him.
No, we don't.
We love Torchic.
Yeah, I love the guy to pieces. He's a great dude, and I love him very much. But McGinn Humphreys was the bottom line for me. Just kidding. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty funny actually, except the end. Go check out like the last 30 minutes or so and watch your mind just fucking explode.
Everybody's face. There's no face cam in it because we had new people, but we all recorded with our faces, and
it was bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna forget the faces that everybody made. Not spoiler warning, just a little thing. Bryce almost left. So
I just like.
Oh man. 12 wisdom, it's a hunter.
Yep.
It's a predator. It makes sense. And then a charisma, it's a cat. Everybody loves cats.
Right.
That's what's and also like dragons are charismatic.
Yeah,
because
they
they're
are,
manipulative. They're like, so I get that.
And I think the charisma plays because I think dragons has like I think a higher charisma, but then you think about this thing's intelligence and you're like, oh yeah, it's too stupid to be super charismatic.
Yeah, I think it's using charisma in terms of like, oh, it's a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. So I get that.
It's a noble-looking creature.
Yeah, it's like kind of regal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
King of the lions are the kings, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
The perception is out of this world. I didn't notice this at first when I was using it. Like passive perception 17, that's just 2 away from Volstagg.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
it gets a +7 to perception.
That shit's insane.
It's got those keen senses being a kitty cat.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about it, but that actually makes a lot of sense. And the dark vision, because cats have dark vision, but I also think dragons have dark vision. So like,
Yeah, I think so.
you know, draconic, obviously, like that's kind of the only thing really keeping it in the realm of a dragon, besides for the looks.
Right.
So I get that. Challenge rating 7. I think it's perfectly rated in terms of that. I don't see any problems with that. Obviously, proficiency bonus. You know, things of this challenge usually have a +3. But the attacks. Oh boy, you never got to experience the brunt of the attacks.
I didn't take any damage.
Because you stayed far away.
I did. I had a bow.
You didn't take any damage the entire game, I think.
I didn't. Not at all.
Which is really impressive. And also, well, to be fair, the only reason that happened was because, once again, it got boxed.
It did. Yeah.
So that could have changed things, but who knows?
There were
if
some
it
broken
would've.
items in the campaign.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, folks. I'm never going to allow the cube of force in any game that I ever DM ever again. So you know. But yeah, multi-attack, 1 bite, 2 claws, so 3 attacks. The bite's pretty chunky, 2d10
Yeah.
plus 4 piercing. And if you don't succeed on a strength saving throw of DC 15, you get knocked prone.
I think it's weird that the bite knocks you prone.
Yeah, I when I originally attacked for the first time, I thought it said grappled,
Yeah.
which made a lot more sense.
The claw attack would make more sense to me being knocked prone because it's like smacking you.
Yeah. I guess this is my logic is because if you it does say bite and then 2 claw attacks, but I think you can distinguish what goes when.
Right.
Right, so I could have done the claw attacks first, but because
Claw
it says bite
attack,
first, I just did bite first. Which, if anyone would fail, like let's say the barbarian that it was fighting, because that would have failed the strength saving throw. If I would have knocked the barbarian down, then both my claw attacks have advantage.
Right.
Right, so you're basically giving yourself double, chances to hit here with your 2 claw attacks being at advantage if they're prone. But it just never happened. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of like the bite on the direwolf, right?
Yeah.
Because doesn't the
I
direwolf?
would know the direwolf by now.
Isn't that what it does? It knocks him prone.
Hold on.
Or am I
can
tripping?
do it real quick.
Am I bad DM moment or you bad player moment?
Probably bad player moment, but.
Nah, nobody's bad on anything.
Direwolf. It is the bite attack on the direwolf.
Okay, so I guess I guess Wizards just thinks that bite attacks. I mean, I guess to be fair, like if it bites your leg and like yanks you down, like it could make sense.
Yeah.
I get your point though. Like a big meaty claw hitting you upside the head is gonna knock you on the ground.
Right.
So either way, the claws are pretty hefty too. I mean, we're talking 2d6 here.
2d6.
Like that's like, what can I equate that to? That's 2 short swords at once. Like imagine just getting stabbed with 2 short swords.
Look at the size of those paws. I'm honestly surprised it's only 2d6. With those paws, I could see it being 2d8.
I could see it being as well. I could also see the teeth being 2d12.
Yeah.
But that might have been another way to buff it up, but I decided to buff the health up.
I also think about it, and I'm like, well, it's still just lion-sized. I mean, still.
That's true.
A lion bit you, you're not gonna be just walking that off.
Yeah, no, you're not. Definitely not.
God.
So I think the damage is reasonable. I don't think it's like if the claw was like 2d4 plus 4, I'd have been like, I don't know about that.
Right.
It's a little less, right?
No, I
If
can
we were
see-
talking, if we were talking 2d6 plus 4 for the bite, I'd be like, I don't know. Plus, I think also too, like it could be higher, right? But I think the reason why it's not as high is because of the blood chilling roar.
Right, which is, like I said, that's what this creature is known for, and this is
And-
why.
And the problem too with I think the reason why the damage is the way it is that so obviously Liondrake lets out the terrible roar audible to 300 feet, which is fucking insane. But any creature within 30 has to make a DC 14 Wisdom save, or you're frightened for a minute, right? Okay, being frightened kind of sucks because you have to run away from the creature. It's kind of a defensive tactic in the grand scheme of it all,
It is.
because you're gonna run away while it's gonna run after you to eat you, and then it doesn't retaliate, so it just continues to fight you. But the problem is, and this is similar in aspect to the Catoblepus's beam, if you fail by 5 or more, you're also paralyzed. The problem with that is that now the creature will also get its advantage, and the attacks are auto crits.
Yes.
So I think that's the reason why the damage isn't higher.
Because
Is
I
because
mean, like, if
You could auto crit.
yeah, you could literally, if you blood chilling roar a creature, it gets paralyzed, then you multi attack it. I mean, you could. There's a chance you could kill it depending on the level.
I mean, let's do a test. I got my dice right here. Let's do a little test, right? Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, so let's say I hit blood curling roar, right? And the person gets paralyzed, right? Okay, now well, it would have to be the next turn because the
Right.
blood chilling roar is an action. But right, so let's see. So 2d10. So I just rolled a 6 and a 10. So 16 doubled, which is 32 plus 4. That's 36, right?
Yep.
Okay, 36. Then the second one, we got, I rolled 2 5s for the claw. So 10, 14. 14 plus 36. And then another claw, which I rolled a 9 to 18 plus 4. What is that total?
Wait, did you crit? Did you double
Yeah,
the
that-
claw damage?
Yeah, I doubled all that. That was total. So it was 36 plus 14, I think,
Yeah.
plus something else.
So
It was 18 plus 4.
18 plus 4. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
How much are we looking at?
Let's see, 36, 14. I mean, that's. Well, 36 plus
36.
14 is 50.
And then 19.
So 69.
I rolled 69. That would have killed everybody because the barbarian had 69 HP
Yeah.
exactly. So right, like that is why it's not higher. That right there, like in one go, if it hits everything, it auto crits, you're dead in one shot.
Insane.
So like, that's exactly why it's not that bad. I mean, it's cool, right? It's a cool creature. Like that ability is kind of wild. But the only thing that sucks is that if they succeed, then it doesn't work pretty much for the rest of the combat because it's probably not going to live to see another day.
What, 4 to 6 rounds on recharge? Or.
So it's a 4 to 6. So if you use it when it's the start of the Liondrake's turn, you roll a d6, and as this is saying, on a 4 to 6, so I just rolled a 4,
Right.
it would come back, which means I would be allowed to use it again. But the problem is that if a creature succeeds,
Seeds, they're immune for 24
You're immune.
hours. That's right.
so like let's say I would have, so it's only good if everybody fails the first time,
Right.
because then you might get a second use out of it. But if everybody succeeds, which is pretty much what happened except one person, I couldn't use it again.
I was out of range.
You were out of range, but you were never in range for it to be warranted for using it. So
Right.
I never actually re-rolled to see if I got it back because it didn't matter.
Right. That makes sense. Well, this is a great segue since we're already kind of talking about how to use it. Oh, it would be a great segue if my screen wasn't messed up. But now we're segueing into Cryo's DM.
All right. Well, I kind of have been going through. Oh man, I just kicked the shit out of my computer. I've been kind of going in through it like this entire episode, pretty much of how I used it. For those of you who are curious and want to run down to the one shot, basically they were hired by a man who wished to create a circus to get a Liondrake for him so that it could be his grand spectacle. And
Which
so
was
that was
great
basically,
because in my research I learned that they are commonly used in circuses.
which is exactly why I did it. And it was a nice callback to the circus that they encountered in Double Advantage.
It's true.
You know, it's the same circus. It was the ringmaster's like fourth great grandfather.
There were
How
lots
you know,
of little
great,
Easter
great,
eggs.
great, great.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it was a nice little callback without being a direct influence into the story, right? Because if they, let's say they would have blown up the mountain they went to in the real current world, it's there. So how would I explain that? That's why it's kind of hard to do past stuff. I wouldn't recommend it unless you isolate it like I did, where it's like you guys didn't fuck anything to the point where it was like, oh boy, how am I gonna fix that?
Which,
You know.
we talked about it afterwards, but I was playing Hogan in the past, so had I died,
Yeah. Had he died, I'd have been like, oh shit. So I tried not to do that,
yeah,
but I wasn't pulling punches either.
it was not.
If you watch, you know, and I'm
Sam.
just gonna spoil it. Yeah, come back, you know, to this part if you don't want spoilers, but I'm just gonna spoil a little bit. In the first fight, there was a first fight against a bullet, and you just didn't take any damage because you never got in melee with it. And two, like being a ranged fighter, or well, ranger, but a ranged fighting type of character keeps you out of the brute of it all most times, if not all times. And then yeah, the second time, yeah, you didn't have a chance to get hit by it.
No,
as it physically could not hit you.
We just that was really one of those moments when the players just kind of were like, oh hey, this is going to be really hard and challenging, and then we kind of broke the encounter.
I mean, it was like, I wouldn't say it was broken, because some funny things did happen, and I mean, I did get to do a lot of damage.
Right.
I just did it to one person for like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and so like I wouldn't say like the item's broken, yeah, but like the same result transpired, I suppose. And this could be used in all sorts of things. Like obviously, as Bryce was saying, the Moon Elves use this. So let's say you encounter a tribe of Moon Elves that, you know, you let's say you're going through the woods and you enter their territory without you knowing, and like 8 of these motherfuckers fly up on you, and each of them has somebody riding them, and like you're basically like getting arrested, or like, you know, like what the fuck is this? Like, hey, you're on our property, get off. You know, maybe that leads you to getting one if you make an alliance with these people, stuff like that. Right? You could, I think I said this with Owlbear when we did Owlbear. Maybe you find a lost, you know, Liondrake cub.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And you got to return it. And you return it, and instead of you fighting this thing, you know, it like, because it does speak. It's not intelligent, but it does speak. It can. It could even be.
Understand it, or does it actually speak it?
I mean, I would assume that it can speak both. I would say it could speak it if it says. Right. This could be in theory a quest giver. Weirdly enough, if you, I mean, anything that has a language and can speak could be a quest giver. Like, let's say you find out that, you know, the reason the cub was all alone is because the mother or the father or whatever had to leave and flee because blah 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 plot point. You know what I mean? You don't have to necessarily fight this thing. While it's cool to fight, you don't have to.
Right.
You know, it could be, you know, plot. It could be somebody's companion. If you're a DM and you're willing to submit yourself to that, I mean, I would nerf it a bit, right? Maybe like let's say it's a, you know, a Liondrake runt, like of the litter that will never ever be like a fool. Like the biggest it'll get will be like the size of like a Great Dane dog, right? It's just like, you know, I don't like using this term because I don't know if it's insensitive or not, but like a Liondrake with like dwarfism. I don't know if that's the proper term, and I'm not trying to be insensitive to
think it
anybody. I
would be,
promise.
like they have the dwarf kittens.
So like yeah,
Dwarf
dwarf
cats.
kittens, like dwarf cats, like that. Like that way you could get away with having like an animal companion
Right.
without it being like holy shit, this is a 700-pound creature, right? It's just why not just a little one that like looks like it's a baby, but it's actually full grown. I think that would be an interesting little thing to kind of spice
Yeah.
up being a ranger because I know the beast companion ranger kind of sucks.
What's a
Um,
pygmy? That's another, like because there's a pygmy hippo, which is like a little hippo.
Oh yeah. So you could have a pygmy Liondrake,
Yeah.
right? And like obviously you would have to talk to your DM, and if you're a DM, obviously you would probably want to bring it down a little bit. But like, let's say in another one shot, or I'm gonna throw this hat into the ring real quick. Technically, you don't have to do the Beast Companion Ranger because you could do the Drake Warden Ranger
That is true. You
and
can
just
do Drake Warden.
I don't know, subjugate. I don't think is the word. Substitute.
Substitute. There you go.
Just say that your Drake companion looks like a lion Drake.
Yeah.
What's stopping that from being a thing? I mean,
was
I
gonna
do
say.
think there's a size restraint, but like, why not it
They
just be
get-
like a teenaged one?
But I think as that class levels up, the Drake gets bigger.
Does it?
I think so.
Let me check. D&D Drake Warden, which I think is very interesting because the Drake Warden and the Lion Drake, well, they're both Drake, obviously, in the thing, but they came out in the same book. So like maybe
Right.
there's something to tie in there. Maybe they kind of expected that. So let me see here. Okay. The Drake is
Say if you find
friendly.
it Before I do, I'm looking
So
at the
it says it's a small dragon in the Drake companion.
table. Right.
And it does say that you get like an essence, so you can summon a type. But like, wouldn't it be sick to have a lion drake with like fire coming out of its mouth? I feel like
Right.
that'd be pretty rad. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So at 7th level, the drake grows to medium size,
Mm-hmm.
and you can ride it.
Yes, because it becomes a mount. And then
Oh, you're right. At
15th
perfected
level.
bond,
yeah, 15th level you get it's large.
it's a large drake. When you ride your drake, it is no longer prohibited from using the flying speed of bond. Oh, so you can't fly with it
Until
until 15th.
that's kind of
That seems a little sad because like druids can fly at what 8,
Yeah.
which is kind of dumb because you can't fly. So this is totally off topic, but I want to talk about it because I've been wanting to talk about it for a while. At 4th level, most spellcasters get access to polymorph, which allows you to turn into flying creatures. It's basically like the druid wild shape, but you have to expend a spell to do so. But a druid can't fly at that level. Like, at 7th level, you get access to 4th level spells like polymorph, but you won't be able to fly until 8th level.
One
Kind of
thing
bullshit.
I'm thinking about though is drakes don't have wings.
Wait. Really?
Yeah, like an actual like drake, I'm pretty sure in D&D doesn't have wings.
Huh.
I'm scrolling through the
You're
book.
right.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, wait, why can you fly it eventually?
Okay, so then Drake Mount, while you're riding a Drake, it can't use the fly speed. But there is no fly speed on the Drake thing.
Yeah, I'm looking like Drake Companion. It says nothing about fly speed. Yeah, it gets 40.
Oh, because it says, okay, at 7th level, the bond you share with your Drake intensifies, protecting you and stroking the Drake's fury. When you summon your Drake, it grows wings on its back and gains a flying speed equal to its walking speed.
Okay, so at 7th level, it gets a fly speed. Okay.
So at 2nd level, it becomes a dragon.
Yeah, your Drake becomes a dragon.
like you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, a Drake is just a dragon without wings.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure a wyvern or a wyvern. Okay, wait, I have the chart right here. So a Drake is a dragon without wings. A wyvern or a wyvern is the dragon, but instead of the front legs, the front
Right, it
legs
just
are
has
legs
wings.
that are wings on the legs. So technically it doesn't have legs, or you could say it doesn't have wings, however you want to think about it. Then there's another one which is called an amphitheater. That just it's just a snake body and wings.
Yes.
Then a worm is just like a snake, basically.
I was gonna say.
Then there's a lindworm, which is basically snake body but 2 front legs.
Mm-hmm.
and then a lung dragon, which is basically a long snake with 4 legs.
Weird.
Which then goes into Drake, which
Is
there's
like
a nice little
dragon
list
without
here.
Wings.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, I
basically
think I've seen that list.
so at 11th level, nope, not 11th level.
7th.
7th.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually at 7th level it becomes a dragon, just can't fly with it.
Right.
Which seems a little weird. You would
That
think
does
you'd
seem-
want to.
Maybe it's kind of like one of those how to train your dragon moments where like you can't ride it yet because you don't know how to ride it while it's flying. Or let me rephrase. You can ride it, but you can't like stay on it while it's flying. So like
Okay.
as you
so
level, you like master that ability to ride it.
Okay, so I
in
think
the air.
I kind of think I understand where it's like, yeah, okay, it gets wings, it can't fly when you're on it, but it can still fly.
Right. Yeah, well, it's a medium.
Like,
though.
it
Can't
could-
you
it could
ride
be a-
medium creatures.
Well, yeah, you can, but I think the whole point, you can ride it.
Right.
It just says while riding it, you can't use the flying speed. So my thing is, you can ride it, but it can't fly with you, probably because it still has to get used to the wings. That's probably
right.
my logic. But it can still fly if you're not on it. So like you could use it to scout.
Right. And so
Is
like
what I would argue.
I like that. Yeah. So like come 15th level, like you're more skilled, it's more skilled. It's bigger now. Okay.
That's interesting. I might have to give this class a try. At
I was
some
gonna say
point.
I really like that class.
It's really nice. I think it's really interesting. Plus, like, fucking free Drake/Dragon companion.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking, you're gonna have a large dragon.
By
At
level
some point.
15.
My question though is, it grows to medium size. So like, but human player characters are not human, but player characters are medium size.
Right.
Because can medium creatures ride a medium sized D&D horse?
Think so,
Is a
'cause
horse medium or is a
medium
horse
size.
large? Is it?
Well,
A riding horse is large.
huh.
Huh. Let me think. Wait, D&D medium mounts. I know that small creatures like gnomes can ride medium mounts.
Right.
Cause yeah, there's the mounts for small there's like
Isn't there
Like,
like
yeah.
a battle dog or something like that?
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a battle dog. You could ride a panther if you're like a gnome.
That's the greatest thing I've ever thought of.
Both small and medium creatures take up to a medium rider. Okay, let me look it up. D&D can a medium creature.
Well, I guess it'd be like Volstagg carrying Sakado.
That's true, but you wouldn't be able to do that for a distance, could you?
I don't know. It depends on my carry.
Okay, so let's say
rate.
the rules for mounting a creature say a willing creature that is at least one size larger than you and has an appropriate anatomy can serve as a mount. So a medium-sized creature like a human can ride on a creature that is large size or bigger. Huh. I wonder if that's a mistake or if they're basically just up and saying like, yeah, fuck it.
It's a dragon, damn it.
You can ride it. Because, yeah, the Drake grows to medium, reflecting your special bond. So I guess, yeah, this part right here is basically the clarifier. Reflecting your special bond, you can use the Drake as a mount if your size is medium or smaller.
That makes
So
sense.
basically saying, like, because of how close you are to this thing, it'll be all right.
Yeah. It's
Which
all
makes
good.
sense. Which makes sense as to why you can't fly with it.
Right.
So that's my thought. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, yeah, because it is just a medium creature, and you're a medium. Even though if
So-
you were a gnome.
it could fly, you know. Anyway, I went off on a tangent talking about how it could be, but you could if you want to reflavor. If you're playing a Drake Warden Ranger, if you want to reflavor your Drake to be a what's it called? Go for it.
Liondrake.
Nobody's stopping you.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
mean, it
go nuts.
works perfectly, because they are eventually... A full-grown one is a large creature.
Yeah. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh boy. So yeah, that's it on my end.
The corner
All I
is
can
over.
think of. Oh boy.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our little trip into the Liondrake's world. It's a really cool creature. I liked fighting against it, although the fight did go a little awry.
I mean,
It was
yeah,
really cool creature,
but
really cool to learn about, and I look forward to using it and painting it Spoiler
Ooh.
alert.
Let's go.
I found some files for a male version and a female version.
Hell yeah, that's super sick. I can't wait for
I downloaded those, and after this video records, I'm going to start printing it.
that. Nice.
So that'll come
Hell
in
yeah.
the future whenever I get around to it, because I have 1,000 things to print.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a thumbs up to let us know you liked it. Leave a comment on any creature you want to see us cover in the comments down below. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.